When a man is taken into custody for a shocking murder, the arresting officer initially dismisses it as an open and shut case. But one chilling detail changes everything, plunging the entire station into chaos and igniting a desperate race to prove his innocence. Before we dive into this gripping story, let us know where you're tuning in from. If you believe in the power of justice, hit that like button and subscribe for more tales that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Steve Callahan had always been known for his calm demeanor and methodical approach to solving cases. For over a decade, he'd served as a detective in the Redbridge City Police Department, guided by a simple yet unshakable moral code: chase the truth, protect the innocent, never compromise your integrity. Despite the daily grind of battling criminals and drowning in paperwork, Steve was the kind of officer who took time to talk kindly to witnesses, double-checked facts before dragging anyone into interrogation, and genuinely cared about getting things right. He believed in the job wholeheartedly, even when it eroded his personal life. Eventually, the demands of police work drove a wedge between him and his wife, leading to divorce. His ex-wife often lamented how the job left little room for family, especially when their daughter Lisa was young and craved her father's presence. At 41 years old, Steve carried more lines on his face than he should have, lines etched by stress, heartbreak, and the quiet sorrow of losing daily contact with his daughter. On the rare weekends he spent with Lisa, though, the world outside melted away. The phone buzzing with new leads or the mountains of forms waiting on his desk ceased to matter. Lisa, now 11 going on 12, was bright, curious, and possessed a sarcastic wit that made Steve chuckle. Together, they fished, biked, or watched old war films, where Lisa delighted in pointing out the obvious suspects while Steve teased her budding detective instincts. Those moments were precious, but every Monday after such weekends felt heavier, as if half his heart stayed behind with her. One drizzly evening, news broke at the station. Robert Sinclair, a prominent city councilman rumored to be investigating corruption within the city, had been found murdered in his upscale downtown apartment. Signs of a struggle littered the scene: a partial fingerprint on the doorknob, a single drop of blood near the entryway. Speculation buzzed through the precinct. Was it a professional hit? Someone trying to silence Sinclair's inquiries? Usually, Steve would have been the detective assigned to such a high-profile case. Ironically, he was tied up finishing another investigation. He remembered seeing the alert pop up on the department system but didn't think much of it. Until the next day, when a message arrived stating there was probable cause pointing to a suspect. A suspect named Steve Callahan. At first, he thought it was a glitch in the database. Computers malfunctioned all the time, right? But the more he tried to correct it, the more he realized something far darker was unfolding. Captain Regina Mills summoned him to her office. Her expression was pained, hands folded tightly on her desk. "Steve," she began, "there's evidence tying you to Sinclair's murder." He laughed nervously, half expecting her to grin and say it was some twisted joke. But no grin came. She was grim. "Evidence?" he asked, struggling to keep his tone polite. "I've never set foot in Sinclair's place. This is insane." She repeated the accusations, a fingerprint matching his on the doorknob, a witness claiming to have seen a man of Steve's build leaving the scene. It was preposterous. That same night, the DA's office rushed to press charges, citing the partial print and a hair sample that allegedly matched him. By morning, Steve found himself sitting in an interrogation room, his colleagues now staring at him with suspicion. He insisted there had to be a mistake, a setup. Captain Mills shook her head, visibly troubled. "We have to follow the chain of command," she said. "If the forensic lab says it's your print, we can't ignore that." Steve felt panic clawing at his chest. Had he upset someone powerful? Was someone forging evidence against him? He demanded the right to investigate his own case, but policy forbade it. Cuffs clicked around his wrists, an avalanche of horror burying him as uniformed colleagues led him away like a common criminal. In that surreal blur, he glimpsed Lisa's face. She had rushed to the station, tears streaming down her cheeks, calling out, "Dad! What's happening?" He tried to comfort her, arms restricted by cuffs, heart twisting painfully. "It's going to be okay, sweetie," he promised. "We'll figure this out." As the officers pulled him away, that became the last normal moment he would have. Within days, the trial roared forward, The station boasted its slam dunk case, a policeman turned killer.